Man who allegedly gunned down the nurse, Lebogang Monene, in the parking lot of Tembisa Hospital is expected to appear in court today. Now, I remind you, Monene was killed back in February, allegedly by her ex-boyfriend, who is a policeman. Nursing union Denosa has called on nurses to show solidarity and attend the court case today. And Heidi Jokos on that story for us. And are we seeing a show of support as yet, Heidi?
No, we aren't seeing a show of support as yet, Gareth. Perhaps I can ask my colleague Tammy to just show you and perhaps pan. There's absolutely nobody here at the moment. Perhaps it's just still a bit too early and also very cold this morning. But what we know is that Denosa, which is the nursing union, together with other nurses and other community members, will be coming out today to show support with regards to Lebogang Monene, who was gunned down by her boyfriend at the time, or rather her ex-boyfriend. Let me be correct in saying that her ex-boyfriend at the time. She was at Tembisa Hospital, where we know her ex-boyfriend arrived with a police van, and we know that he even used his lights at the time. She came out of the hospital, he called her, she came out of the hospital, and he shot her dead, unfortunately. We also know that soon after that, he turned the gun on himself. Everybody's asking why he's appearing in court at such a late stage. This happened on the 9th of February, and it's 5 months later. But the reason for this is because he turned the gun on himself and he was in critical condition. He was airlifted to another hospital at the time. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in court today and how much support is actually going to come up. That was truly a tragic incident that happened. She was on duty in hospital, and obviously she felt safe, and this is when her ex-boyfriend called her out, and unfortunately she tragically lost her life.
Let's go back a couple of months as well, the case having been postponed a number of times as well. And I understand, Heidi, all to do with the non-appearance of the accused. I'm not too sure if it's got to do with injuries or not, but it's been postponed a couple of times already.
Yes, exactly. And I think the reason for all those postponements, Gareth, and the reason why this matter is taking 5 months to eventually be heard is because we do know that he did turn the gun on himself after he had shot Lebogang. So he possibly was recovering in hospital. I think we'll get the finer details in court today. But of course, it must be very difficult for the family and for her colleagues. Some colleagues saw this happening right in front of them. Many of them want to know exactly what happened. Many of them want to know what's going to happen moving forward. They are also saying that no bail should be granted for the ex-boyfriend. Of course, we cannot name him at this stage until he appears before the Tembisa Magistrate Court. So the postponements had largely to do with the fact that he had turned the gun on himself and he was possibly recovering in hospital, and this is the only time that he was able to present himself in court.
Yeah, Heidi, quite right in just highlighting the fact why we can't name him as well. I see a lot of people on Twitter asking why aren't we naming the accused. You're quite right, Heidi, not appearing in court yet, so we can't do that. Heidi Jokos, back to you again later in the day. Lebogang Monene killed by her ex-boyfriend while on duty. That court case postponed a couple of times now, postponed to today. So hopefully it will get underway and justice will be served.